Hello and welcome to another episode of Guide to the Grind Marketing. As always, I'm your host, Jeff Eady. I'm excited for this one because it is the first one of the year 2020. It's a brand new decade, a brand new year, and I'm hoping for you a brand new business or a brand new pathway into a part of the business you haven't worked on before. So as we're talking about pathways, great segue, I want to talk about the most common conversation I have, and that's how to attract people into your email marketing system. I've said many times that a book is the best way to do it, but I have the conversation over and over again with people when I'm first trying to help them understand that video doesn't do the same thing that a book does to attract people into your system. Video is great once you've got people into your system and they're engaged, but there's a lot that goes into the psychology behind attracting people from an ad, say on a social media platform, into actually subscribing to your actual database. So I want to cover a few of those things today, help you understand why, so that you can get over the hump of thinking that videos are the end-all and be-all in marketing. Like I said, they're great once they're inside your system, but it's a totally different game trying to get people to come inside of your system. So the first thing I want to talk about is Dr. Robert Cialdini wrote a book called Persuasion. Fantastic book. I just started rereading it. And it's funny sometimes when you go back and read something you've already read, you pick up different things. And in the very first part of the book, I believe it's actually the introduction, he's talking about a sales professional that he followed around for quite a while. He shadowed him. And he was the top sales professional in this company that sold high-end fire safety equipment or fire alarms. And he realized that Robert Cialdini realized that he was following the exact system that the company had laid out for him to follow, but he was well and above everybody else in the sales of the company. And he was trying to figure out why. And he realized there's one major thing that this salesperson was doing different than everybody else in the company. They had to write like a 10-minute fire safety quiz. And what this guy would do is, as soon as the homeowners that he was meeting with started writing this quiz, he'd kind of slap his forehead and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot something out in the car. Would you mind if I let myself out and back in?" And a lot of times this would require either a pass card or a key to get back into the house. And Cialdini was kind of like perplexed by this, and he kept pushing the guy afterwards. "Why do you do this? Why do you do this?" And the guy didn't really want to reveal his secrets. And finally he kind of snapped and said, "Look, who do you let into your home without knocking?" Well, obviously you're somebody you trust. And that interesting association between letting somebody into your home without a key and automatically drawing a trust parallel made all the difference in this guy's sales. So this persuasion, actually, there's tons of evidence to back it up. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. But as I was reading that, I realized there's so many things that happen when you use a book as your doorway into your system or your attractor. And there's a lot of psychology that goes on behind it. First of all, the statistics say we have about a quarter of a second to actually catch somebody's attention with an ad. That's extremely difficult to do. I don't know about you, but trying to catch my attention in an ad is almost impossible. So what has to happen in the psychological realm is for something to draw an association that's almost instant. I don't know if you've studied neurolinguistics programming or NLP, but in NLP they talk about associations and the fact that the mind always deletes, distorts, and generalizes everything. So if you can get the mind to see your ad, delete, distort, and generalize it and associate it to something else in somebody's mind, instantly you have a connection that you don't have to worry about making yourself. They'll already make that connection, or that trust will be built because they came in without a key. So one of the first things about it is the fact that a book cover itself conjures up really positive images of childhood. For me personally, when I see a book, it instantly draws a connection between my mom reading to me as a little kid and what I'm seeing right now. I love books. I actually didn't read a lot on my own, but as I got older, just the fact that you see that draws an association to a really positive memory. For most, some may, conjure up worse memories, but you're not trying to attract everybody. It's about, increasing your percentages bit by bit over time. But that instant connection to something positive and something heartwarming allows you to do something with that book cover that videos never can. You can't put up a thumbnail on, say, Facebook and have somebody associate that thumbnail to a positive childhood memory. but a book can draw that connection without even thinking about it. They don't even process that. It goes straight to their subconscious, and that happens within less than that 0.25 seconds. The next thing I'd like to talk about is colors. So I haven't put out a video yet this year because I've been working on a very extensive marketing system with a mortgage agent friend of mine, where we're marketing to realtors to help them get their clients into investing in real estate for themselves. And one of the things that I had to research for that is, what are realtors' favorite colors? Because that information is out there. And it turns out, I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was something like 68% of top industry-leading realtors prefer cornflower blue in their logos. So what do you think I'm going to make the book cover color? Of course, cornflower blue. It draws that association much quicker to something that they already have. And then once you understand that, obviously we had to have our avatar. I've spoken about creating your client avatar long before you ever begin this system. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of time. But once we had our avatar, now we need, we have our color, but now we need our title. Title is everything, because you've already drawn the association of the childhood memory, you've caught their attention with the colors. Now you have to tell them exactly what is in the book and why it's important to them. You also have to use some literary devices like alliteration, rhyming. There's a couple other tricks you can put in there, but those are the two big ones to make it sticky. I'll put it out there. I don't know if I'm supposed to put it out there yet, but what we ended up naming the book that was marketing to realtors is Revive 5 for Realtors. Very simple. It's got alliteration, revive, with realtors. It's got the R, it's got the Revive 5, it's got the V sounds, but it's also got a rhyme in there, so that rhyme makes it much easier, much stickier for people to see it. I don't remember the exact tagline, the subtitle of the book, but I know it went along the lines of a complete guide to how to get new deals from old clients. So something very simple. It's all there. All the information they need is right there on that page, or on that one book cover, so that now they can make an informed decision within a quarter of a second. Now, not only do they make that decision, once they make that decision, I'm going to back it up a little bit. In order to make that decision, it has to be fast. It has to be immediate. I've said it time and time again. I like to think about the I guess, stark reality of being human. Most people don't have a lot of time, and they find time where they can. And a lot of people tend to take their cell phones into the bathroom. Whether it's to hide or to actually go to the washroom, whatever, I like to think of people sitting in the bathroom at work, hiding from the boss for a few minutes, and scrolling through their social media. All the time having a problem in the back of their mind. And that's the problem that we're trying to solve with the business. And when they see that ad come up with the book title right there, instantly it draws those connections, and they say, well, hey, you know what? I can't read the book right now, but I can put my email address in there, and I can get the book to read it later, which most never will, but that doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is to create a good transaction. You trade a book, lots of information, for their email address. They feel really good about it because they just did something to solve their problem. It's a false sense of accomplishment, but also they didn't have to sit there and watch a video. I know that most are never going to come back and read that book, but now they're inside the marketing system. You can continue to communicate with them. And that's the point. If someone is sitting in the washroom and you ask them to watch a video, they're not going to watch a video when somebody's sitting in the stall next to them. They're just not. And if they put it away and say, I'll watch it later, chances are they'll never come back to it. And that's really the big thing. The attractor should be something that's immediate, it's free, and they can watch it later. They can use it later. They don't have to do it right now. Now here's the cool thing about it. Once you've given them a book for nothing other than their email address, because that doesn't feel like a huge transaction, it didn't cost them $1. They got the information for free. Now you've done two things that are going to help you in the long term with your email marketing system. First of all, you've brought into play the law of reciprocity, meaning you've given them something, and now they feel somewhat obliged to give something back to you, i.e. staying on your email list. And then once you provide them with enough information, you can go from there. But staying on your email list, a lot of people won't unsubscribe immediately just because they feel like they might have cheated you. The other thing is you position yourself as an expert. when somebody says author after the name, if you ever watch an interview on the news and somebody says, filmmaker and author, that author carries a certain amount of weight with it because it takes a lot to write a book. Doesn't matter how long the book is. The fact is, once a book is done, you can call yourself an author. But the fact that you've written a book positions you as an expert in the person's mind who downloaded your book. So now your words come across as an authority. And if you've read Cialdini's first book, Influence, which I have not, but he does talk about the hierarchy of influence, and that authority is the first level on that hierarchy. Becoming an authority in their mind is going to allow you to do a whole lot more in the way of influencing them down the road to stay in your system and to eventually become your customer. Remember that the true meaning of engagement is, did they buy from you or not? It doesn't matter how many likes you have, how many reposts or comments or anything like that. The only true measure of engagement is, did they buy from you or not? All of these things combined are not only going to get them into your system, but they're going to position you as an expert later on to help them become your customer and create that true engagement. And hopefully a long-term customer, because if you're providing a lot of value, there's no reason for them to leave. So again, all of this is based on a lot of neurolinguistics programming, a lot of psychology, but it all happens very fast. We delete, distort, and generalize everything in our experience. We see that book title and it instantly pops in, hey, good memory, I'm going to look over at it. You see the title, it says everything you need to know about that book on the title, and you've got a heck of a lot better chance of getting somebody into your system than leaving them outside with a video. I think that's really all I need to say about it. Might have repeated myself a few times. I might have said more than I need to say about it. But I really need to stress the importance of a book title over a book cover over a video to get people into your system. It's so much more effective. It's so much more important. The videos have their place, but it's only once they're in your system those videos really matter. To keep them, to get them inside, that book cover is going to create that instant connection for you. So I'm done rambling. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm your host, Jeff Eady, and it's the Guide to the Grind Marketing Podcast. You can find me at guidetothegrind.com. Shoot me up with an email, jeff@guidetothegrind.com, or if you've seen this on YouTube, just I'd love a like. I'd love a subscribe. Anything to let me know I'm doing a good job and providing value, because that's truly my mission. Thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year, and all the best in this year, but not only this year, but the whole decade. I'm rooting for you. Talk soon.